Hello everyone, this is Angie at Stampin' with Amore, and today I am sharing this cute little treat box. It is using the Free as a Bird stamp set, and this does come as a bundle right now. It is on the retiring list as a bundle, but the stamp set and dies will continue to carry over into the next catalog. But if you want to save the 10% on the bundle, which it comes with the nested label dies, if you want to get the stamp set and the dies as a bundle and save 10%, you need to get it now because it is while supplied last. So I am not sure what the status is right now, but if you really love this stamp set, you need to get it right now. You can get the stamp set in the new catalog, but it won't be as a bundle. You'll have to get them separately. All right, so this may be a little bit longer. I'm just warning you because it is cutting out a window, and then we're going to color the birds, which I'll probably speed through because you've seen me color quite a bit, and it's very simple coloring. I'm just doing a tiny bit of shading, but we are using the designer series paper that coordinates with this, and it's the Bird Ballad designer series paper. It's one of my favorite papers. It's this one right here. And so this is retiring also, and so you need to grab that if you really love this paper like I do. And I did another project with it just the other day, but that's what we're using for this. All right, so let's get started with this. Okay, so what you're gonna need for this is a piece of, this is Seaside Spray, and this is the top of the box. It's 8.5 by 7. You're gonna need another piece of Petal Pink. This is for the bottom. It's 7 7/8 by 9 3/8. You're going to need to mat it. This is what I'm using to mat it, and these are 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. Then you need two that are 1 3/8 by 3 7/8. You do need a piece of Whisperite. We're going to stamp our birds on. And then you're going to need another piece for the inside of the box, which is 5 3/8 by 3 7/8. You'll need a piece of scrap pink, Petal Pink, and a piece of scrap Old Olive. I'm also using the stitched rectangles, and this size is 4 1/8. It looks like about 4 1/8 by 2 3/4, and then I'm using the larger one, and this one is 3 1/8 by 4 1/2. All right, so those are the two that we're using for that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the birds, and we're going to color those really quickly because we need to get that ready because we have some big shot work to do. So I'm using my bird die here, and we're going to ink it up with Memento Black because I am using my blends for this. And I'm going to stamp this pretty much like in the middle here so that I can use my die to cut it. Isn't that pretty? They're so pretty. And then I'm using, to color this, we're going to use some Seaside Spray, light and dark Old Olive. We're going to use Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie, and Crumb Cake for this. And which one was this? Oh, the dark, we're going to use the dark Petal Pink, not the light. All right. So let's go ahead and get going with this. I am going to show you one bird, and then I will speed it up. So all I'm doing is coloring with the light Seaside Spray, and I'm just coloring the whole bird in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the dark, and I'm just going to shade it pretty much and just where it is already shaded. I'm going to shade a couple other areas only because I want some separation in the birds, so when I get to that point. And then we're going to just carry on. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up now. Okay, so I have the birds all colored and ready to go. I used the Rococo Rose on the other one. The flowers on this one, I used the Rococo Rose on this one, but I thought I'd change it to Petal Pink since that's the color that we are using on the bottom of the box. All right, so I'm going to set this aside and we're going to score our top and bottom pieces. So for the top piece, we're scoring this at 1.5 on all 4 sides. And then on the bottom piece, we're scoring it at 2 on all 4 sides. Okay, that's all our scoring. We're going to put the bottom piece away because we do need to bring the big shot up here. And we're going to cut out the window and we're going to cut out the birds. So I'm going to grab my 2 stitched rectangles here. The larger one is going to be for the birds. So we're going to cut those out, center them here. And then we're going to cut that, run those through and cut those out. These are such pretty birds. I love this one. So we have our birds cut out right there. And then we're going to do with the smaller one, we're going to do the window in this box. You do have to fold this over, but I'm going to do this part first, and I'm going to center it here. Try to center it really well, the best that you can. I'm just eyeballing it, but I'm going to use some sticky note to keep it in place. And then you do have to fold this over. You're going to get a little bit of a ridge mark, and I'll show you that here in a minute on here because of the die. And if anybody has a secret to this, you let me know, because I've been doing this for years, making windows and boxes, and I haven't figured it out yet. But we're going to mat it so it's not going to make any difference. So you'll see right there it leaves a little indentation, but it's fine. We're going to leave it because we're matting it. All right, so that is it. Let's move this out of the way. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp this little leaf out of the same stamp set, which is this Free as a Bird. I don't think I showed it, but it's this stamp set right here, and it's this leaf that we're using, and of course the birds right here. And I'm using some Seaside spray. It's the same color as the cardstock. And we're just going to kind of make a border around this. So we're just going to go around. Don't worry about any spaces or anything like that. We're going to fill some in a minute. You don't even have to do this part if you don't want to. I just like the little border around it. Oops, I gotta do this one. And then I'm just gonna take the ends and just fill in some of the areas here that we have spaces. I'm just gonna go around that. It just adds a little bit of a decorative border to it. So I think that's it for that. And now we're going to put our little bird piece on. And we're going to just put glue right around the edge because this fits pretty tightly in there. So you just want it on the very edge. And we're going to put that on here. I'm not going to push it down until I turn it over and make sure it's centered in there. just like that, and then we'll just press down the edges. And we're going to cover this part with that piece of Seaside spray that I showed you earlier. All right, so now let's go ahead and cut this. So we're cutting both ends here. All right, and you want to make sure you have these all sharpened really well. This is a big part of box making, to have these all sharpened really well. So your box is really square and it's really nice and neat. All right, now we are going to put adhesive. I'm using just the Tombow wet glue. I'm going to put it on the sides here, put our sides up. Line them up really nicely. Make sure they're real square. It's important that your box fits perfectly. And if you don't have them square, it's not going to fit just right. I just got glue all over my fingers. I have to wipe that off here. All right, so the last ones here, and you may have to hold this for a minute because of, you know, it being the wet glue. Now we're going to go ahead and get our matting pieces, and we're going to mat this. So that's how it looks so far. And we're going to mat these pieces. So the two shorter ones go on the ends. So I like the wet glue. You can move it if you get it off centered. And then there's our piece, our side that has the little, but you'll see we're going to cover that up. And then our last piece, excuse me, right there. Okay, so there's our top so far. Let's go ahead and do the bottom. So we already have that scored, and we're going to do this the same way. We're going to cut in each one of these. Once again, sharpen all your score marks. And then we're going to put the adhesive again. I think I'm getting low on my adhesive here. This is a really good size box. I'll tell you the measurements here in a minute. And then if we did it right, this top lid should fit on there just right. So it fits on there really nicely. All right, so now what we're going to do is our sentiment. And these two pieces are, for the Whisper White, it's 5/8 by 4. And then this piece is 3/4 by 4. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment with the Memento Black, and it just says, "We're the best of friends." There's quite a few cute little sentiments on here. I'm going to stamp that on here. It's really pretty too. And then we're just going to be careful with your ink. You don't want to smear it. We're going to line this, center it on there and line it up. And then I'm going to cut a little flagged end. And then we're going to bring our box back in here. We're going to put this on there. And then I'm using, for the flower, I'm using this little flower punch, which is the small bloom punch. I need to hold that down for a minute, it's sticking up. I'm going to set that aside so we can do our flowers. So you're going to just punch 2 of these. And then we're going to use the leaf punch, which is retiring. And I think I've mentioned this before in my video, and I'm super sad about this. I use it a ton. And we're going to do 1 flower, or 1 leaf. And we're going to attach the leaf to here. And our 2 flowers, I really just manipulate them with my fingers and kind of make the little petals come up. And we're going to put a dot there. And I'm going to just stagger it. Like that. And I like to just push them up, these petals. And you can separate them and really get picky with them. But we're going to attach this to the flower or the leaves. And then I am taking these Noble Peacock. I love these, and they are retiring as well. Anything that I tell you is retiring, you need to go grab if you want them. I'm going to put 3 of them in the center here. I'm really going to miss these. I've used them a lot, and I really, really love the colors in these. And there you have it. All done. You can use regular rhinestones, and you can use your blends to color the rhinestones also if you don't have those. Alright, so there you have it. There's both of them. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you need any supplies, you can go to stampingwithamore.com and shop from my blog. Please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. Oh, I meant to tell you the size. So the size is, it's 4 inches by 5.5, and it's 2 inches tall. But aren't they cute? I thought they were super adorable for a friend, and they're really fun to do. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one. I'll see you later. Bye.